All right, cyber traders, welcome on back here, and time to wake up perhaps for some of us live inside our cyber group trading room here this Thursday afternoon, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, and I should say Thursday, April 15th. Great to see all of us live inside cyber group. I believe I'm good to go across the board, though. I saw from Craig, William, Debbie, Michael, Skip, Norman, Ken, all can hear me loud and clear. For all of us in social media, that's a hat trick 3 days in a row. I haven't messed that up since Monday. Great to see you back, though. Let's hop right into the thick of things. We have a GameStop up. We're not going to day trade GameStop really, but I'll tell you that's how slow it's been taking us going into this 2:30 meeting. I mean, the markets are up nicely. There were a bunch of stocks that got clobbered early on today. So, hey, we had a pretty good morning, but I'll tell you for the last couple hours here, definitely better to step away from the desk if you are able to and just kind of breathe in some fresh air and just kind of catch yourself going into the final hour of the day. And so hopefully we'll find better opportunity taking us into the close. I have GameStop up just because it was making a bit of a pop. Some news came out this morning regarding it. I think GameStop and a couple of other stocks are going to be added to an ETF. So we ended up seeing a spike up right around 2 p.m. And with that, I was hopeful on AMC. I ended up doing really well in the short on AMC earlier today, but it looks like I'm about 1 penny away, if not right now, from getting stopped out on a trade. I'm currently long from 978, probably going to take. I think I just got filled. I don't know why it wouldn't stop me unless if it's. Oh, maybe it didn't take me yet. I have my stop set at 973, my limit at 972. So it should be taking me out any second. Nonetheless, maybe you'll come back to AMC just at the end of it. If it ends up making the pop, the big breakout I was looking for, then we'll try and call it out at least at that point. What we'll do, folks, is just go from top to bottom now, and we'll see what else we can get, really. I mean, for any of the others that we ended up calling out, Palantir, Neo, Space, all those trades, they ended up kind of exhausting out early on today. So we haven't really seen much of them since. Actually, out of all of those, maybe the Palantir, but we'll find that at some point here. So going from top to bottom now, we have the WHLM stock, pretty familiar name just from early this week, ended up making like a pop and drop type of move, ended up dumping all the way back down towards like 650-ish. And from there, it took a little while. And today, well, broke out again, but this thing's like a mess. Got halted like 2-3 times on the way up, once on the way down here. That's a wrap. So it ended up, squeezing back up temporarily, but not really worth our time. So I'm going to move away from this stock for right now. Definitely low float stock. KLDO. This one ended up getting some interest, some volume coming in after 2 o'clock Eastern. Ended up making this like weird top and pullback, and then just shot back up here. Not a lot has happened since then, though. So given it's the afternoon move, maybe you'd think I'd put this on our list, but let's see if there's better. BTN here, kind of at the highs, but also lacking the volume traded per minute right now. I mean, I guess 15,000, but I want to see a little bit more on this. This one, at least so far, I guess piques my interest the most. We don't really have any stocks on our main list just yet, so I guess this will be our start for right now. Hopefully this shows more activity going into the last hour here, perhaps a re-break over resistance. This order here showing, actually this one right off the high, 5,600 shares at 469. WAFU, nope. Eaton, nope. I'll tell you, I'm actually still in that AMC trade. It didn't take me out. 73. My stop is set correctly. It probably will in the next second or so. BCRX, though, this one ended up making a huge move up today. Ended up making this like low volume, steady, big push up. Flew under our radar for quite a while, and until practically like 10:45, 11 o'clock Eastern time here, as it was already up towards like $11. So hey, given the afternoon right now, it's near the highs, moved back up. We normally saw this, or you would normally see a stock like this that popped up and dumped back down. If it's not at the highs at this time of the day, it's not worth our time likely. So it is. I like this. So BCRX we'll put on our list here. Resistance looks like even off of like 1155 actually. IMPX. This is a slow mover. I probably shouldn't have clicked this. Looks like it's making a small little pop here. I was calling this out for us live inside the trading room like minutes before the market opened up. Ended up starting to make a small little bounce here. Wasn't worth the time. I mean, unless if you're able to trade several thousand shares, but I learned my lesson yesterday. I ended up trading 3 stocks yesterday. I told you folks, I ended up having my worst day in quite some time. I was trading anywhere between 3 to 6,000 shares of a stock. Hey, the cheaper the stock, the more liquid it is, then you have a chance of doing that. But unfortunately, yesterday, I was at the right place just at the wrong time, ended up paying for it. So I didn't try and do that here. Looks like it's starting to make a small little squeak up. I guess maybe we'll come back to it at the very end. Not really that interested in it just yet. Seal. This one ended up being a huge tease for us about a month ago. Ended up coming out with 2 separate companies, 2 separate firms. Ended up providing a price target of $15. Pretty crazy. Ended up making the pop that day, but dumped back down and kind of all over the place since. For right now, it's up on the day, but it's been pretty low volume. So I'm gonna actually kind of scrap this from our list for right now. Seal. I'm still in AMC. That's funny. It didn't take me out. Yes, that's good fortune, perhaps. We'll come back to it, though. I still have my stop set. I can still get taken out. Man, gold still squeezing back up today, huh? Nugget ended up making a nice pop after the market opened, still at the highs, but it's an ETF. We're not really as interested in trading this going into the close. I'd be rather focused if it's strong. It's not really that strong. CDE, I think there's HL, Hecla Mining. Popped and ran earlier today. Some gold mining stocks otherwise, Newmont, NEM, similar. I'd rather trade the equity compared to the ETF first, but either way, it looks like they're just kind of flat for the meantime here heading into the close. I'll tell you, that just about does it on the gainers end. Hop over to the losers list here quick. KLXE down 31%, big hit. It is shortable. Order book is so empty though. Pass. APMG, same thing. Stock View got hit today. Took a big hit, I should say. Dropped down 15% right now. It's at the lows. Spreads really aren't bad at all. Never really traded the stock before. Is this all-time lows? It is. It's all-time lows. It is shortable. All right, well, we'll put this on our watch list. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be trading this over some of the others, and maybe I will, maybe I won't, though. But if I don't, I'm very interested in studying this move and seeing what it does going into the final hour. Hence why we're going to put this on our watch list. So if we're not going to just watch it, then we'll look to pull the trigger and take a trade on it. It looks like there's a lot of covering coming in off of $7.10 here. Been a little choppy around the level, but you could see for the most part it was holding over it as support recently. And I say 710, 711 if anything. Look at all of the black prints filled here, 47K, 30K, they all add up. So that's a lot of short covering off that price. Perhaps it breaks even lower first, but if it gets back over 710, 711, that might make the dead cat bounce. So I'll put this view trade on our list for right now. I want to check out GameStop just because my AMC I'm still surviving. So I didn't know if this was popping back up just yet, GameStop. And even if it does, is AMC going to go with it? I mean, you'd like to think it has a great chance of doing that because of what happened back in early Jan. The whole Reddit situation here. It's crazy how that's been like 3 months already, 3.5 months since that's happened. All right, so let's get to some stocks that we were talking about from the morning, perhaps the FCell, the space trade, Palantir, I'd said I'd get to. So whereas the market's held up today, I mean, a lot of stocks got really hit today, a lot of red on my watch list. FCell ended up dropping off as soon as the market opened up, like no time to even wait on that trade. We often say to wait the first 3 minutes, first 5 minutes before you just jump into a stock. And man, this ended up just breaking down very quickly, ended up re-breaking below a big support roughly off of 1075, you could see there. And then from there, it's just smooth sailing since. So, hey, I mean, we love trading fuel cell. It's a great side list stock, as you could see going back into the end of last year and throughout the beginning of this year. It's provided us great volatility on the way up, on the way down. So I have zero problem just putting FCell on our main watch list right now. This stock really does trade a lot of volume per day. I mean, like, just going back into January, February here on an average basis, and I know that's not saying a whole lot provided some of these much larger spike days, but even here, the stock on an average basis trading 50 million shares across the last 50 days. So, right now it's trading 39 million shares we've seen this stock trade way more. So I feel like there could be some opportunity left on fuel cell. We'll see which way the markets break. That could influence the direction of fuel cell heading into the close. And then space. So space, notice my position here. I'm currently short on space right now. I'm in right from the 23 level. I did this on a half size position. This is the only other trade I'm in going into this afternoon. I'm probably going to bail out though pretty soon just to take the money. But there was a lot of selling coming in off 23. That was like a real tease throughout the day. So I was patiently waiting for my opportunity on this trade here, folks. Once it rebroke below 23, I was just there at the right place at the right time. I easily could have been hit by a couple of these false breaks if I ended up pulling the trigger then, and I just didn't. So I noticed the selling that came in right after 1 o'clock Eastern. I ended up seeing the false break here where it kissed 23 and pushed back up. So I took it, and so far paying well. The only regret is not doing more shares. But yeah, space heading into the close easily. Going to put this on our watch list, definitely at the top. Ron says space looking for 20. Ron, you and me both. So yeah, for right now, space definitely on our list. Let's see what else we got. Palantir, I said I'd jump to. I don't want to be a jerk and blow this trade up here, so I want to make sure I can get to it pretty soon. Gevo took a huge hit today. Man, ended up making a big squeeze as well. Put this on your side list if it's not already, because this has been on our side list more on than off over the last few months. But even over the last couple of days, I took my eyes off it for a bit, focused on a couple others. Well, after today, this thing will definitely be a focus of mine for tomorrow, for next week. It's just on, be right back on the side list, so to say. You could say perhaps the same with like an NNDM, a bingo, perhaps. Those have been on our side list for a while as well. Palantir, more so than anything, though. So PLTR, look how volatile this has become now. So ended up being a slow poke going into the early or late morning, early afternoon. I ended up missing this. I shorted this from 23 at first, and I knew I had the direction right. But as this popped back over 23, I got out scratch. I took a penny loss, but I ended up trying to long it off 23 after here. This was one of the few losses I took today, one of the few real losses. It was a 5-cent loss, but once it rebroke here, I wasted the profit. This is where I entered, got in roughly around here, or at least I thought I did. Maybe it was here. Oh no, there's the short. There's the buy. I ended up, taking a 3-cent loss here on a half-size position. And then once it snapped back down, I ended up getting stopped out. Well, thankfully, I set my stop, but I ended up missing the squeeze back up after. I know one of our students, Jeff, was calling this out off the 22.80, rightfully so. I wish I was there right off that price too. So yeah, PLTR, either way you cut it, has been a great side list stock today, at least heading into the afternoon, starting to wake up a lot more. All right, so folks, let me know if there's any other stocks up, down, left, right, more than 5% that you would want me to look at here before we finish things up. I'll tell you what, I'm in the office today, and every time I say that, that just means I can actually do this. Be very quick with my Benzinga Pro and pop this up for you folks here, just to show you what I'm looking at. This is what I'm looking at all day, every day. Twice on Sunday. For right now, though, there's not really like much that is on my radar. There's like, all of these stocks that are breaking new highs of the day, but that doesn't mean that they're good trades. I don't know any of these symbols here. Yeah, not a whole lot on my Benzinga Pro, that's for sure. That's fine by me. Question from one of our trial members, Don, and for all of our trial members alongside Don, welcome aboard. Please do yourself a favor, Don. Call our office and then talk to your education advisor. They're going to be able to schedule an appointment with you as early as tomorrow, walk you through everything, including your question of how you access the Matrix tool. We wouldn't want any of our trial members to be trading yet and risking their money without knowing how the program works, right? So that's where we say to, go through all of the material that you have that's part of your trial membership. There's like pre-recorded workshops, everything that's included with it, not just this trading room. So we want all of our members in our trading room here to be educated and know what they're doing before they risk their money. I harp on that, Don, because you might not look to do that yourself, right? But there's a couple of us that just dive in right in head first. They lose a lot of money. And obviously no one walks out too happy. So, we want to make sure all of us are just caught up to speed. Please, as a trial member, not just to Don, but to all of our new members joining us from today's event, make sure that you call the phone number that I typed in the chat board below. Do yourself a favor, just take a quick 5-minute phone call with one of our education advisors, and they'll walk you through everything. All right, folks, I don't have anything else in the chat board, though. Michael calling out AU, perhaps a gold ticker, which we'll look at. Space trade hanging in there at 22.74. Yeah, AU's at the highs, but it's just like so flat. I mean, the whole sector is that way. So, normally you'd think of a stock being at the highs of the day. We're going to put it on our watch list, right? Just the whole sector is like this, though. I'm not expecting continuation across the whole sector. That's the thing. For a specific equity off of news, that's different. So perhaps like a BTN even here. We're hoping for this to make a nice big pop heading into the close. If it doesn't, wouldn't shock me given how far the stock has moved up the last 2-3 days running, right? So that's what you have to be mindful for on the other side. All right, folks. So for all of us on social media, as always, if you have yet to do so, please do us a favor here and make sure that you like, subscribe, notify right on our YouTube channel. That's at youtube.com/cybertradingu. Otherwise, if you've yet to have the chance as well, feel free to join us live inside this Cybergroup trading room. We're running live Monday to Friday from 7:30 Eastern time up until the end of the day here at 4 o'clock. Actually open till later, open till 5 o'clock Eastern time daily. All right, folks, go right down to the link on the banner below to sign up. For all of us there right now, just give me a quick moment. I'm going to copy and paste the picks. I'll be back on the mic myself going into the final 30 minutes of the day. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.